Today's video is brought to you by CarLock, the world's best vehicle tracker and alert system. With CarLock, you'll be able to track your car real time, get alerts of anything suspicious happening to your car, such as your car is starting when it shouldn't be starting, any vibrations. Also, if someone decides to unplug your car lock from your car, you'll get a notification for that too. You deserve that peace of mind, and make sure you get your car lock. I do have a discount code for you guys shown on the screen right now. Get 10% off your purchase, as well as 14 days free trial with it as well with that same discount code, man. Get your car lock. You deserve that peace of mind. Let's go ahead and get it to the video. They always promised something's going to happen. They said this car is going to come out at SEMA. SEMA's here, and they still are trying to figure this car out. Will this car ever come out? We may never see this car drop at all, but YouTube family, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if this is your first time, please do me a huge favor. Make sure you lock it in for the long haul. Do a lot of car related stuff on this channel, and you're in the right place for car related things. And so, you know, you might as well just lock in for the long haul so you can see all the car stuff that we got going on. And if you've already done that, I appreciate you guys for doing that. That's already subscribed to the channel. We couldn't do it without you guys, and I'm really happy about that. Thank you so much. And I'm not gonna hold you too long. As always, let's go ahead and get into the topic of today's video. You see the title and you see the thumbnail. So yes, we're doing another POV drive, man. I like doing these POV drives, and it seems like you guys kind of like it as well to a certain extent. I'd rather be in the car if I'm talking to you guys versus talking to myself, because I've heard that label you as a crazy person. So we got something crazy going on, right? I'm pretty sure you guys may have seen like the articles that have been coming out lately in regards to the new Hellcat. Now, if you've been following the channel, you know I made a video a while ago saying that I thought the reason that we did not see the new Hellcat at SEMA, which is pretty much starting up here now, I think, that the reason they didn't have the new Hellcat was due to supply issues. It has turned out that that is not the case. Supply issues was not the issue. Here's what really the issue is. So apparently the reason Dodge will not be having the new Hellcat revealed at SEMA is because of the fact that they still can't figure out how to get all the power out of the engine. Pretty much seems like during testing they have blown not one, not two, not three, not four. It's starting to sound like that LeBron James thing, right? Not five, not six, but 7 engines. They have blown 7 engines trying to get horsepower out of this thing. And now I know there have been reports as far as how much horsepower they're trying to push. I think this rumored that it's going to be over 900 horsepower, like 909, something like that. But I want to talk about exactly what is going on. Like, why are they having so much issues with trying to get this thing taken care of? And so the main thing that's causing Dodge headaches here, and I think all the reports that have been pointing to this, is the fact that this engine is supposed to be running E85 for them to get the horsepower. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, my car has 1,000 horsepower and I can do it on pump gas and things like that. I have a Hellcat, stuff like that. But this is a little bit different situation what Dodge is running to. And I'm going to explain why this is not as easy as it should be, or as it could be, I should say. So let's start with this, right? So Dodge is trying to push for the last ever Hellcat, trying to make it the most powerful Hellcat ever, and they're having issues with it, and it seems like it's related to E85. Now, the reason they are using E85 in this particular engine is because of the fact that they aren't able to invest or not wanting to invest more money into the engine to upgrade superchargers and things of that nature to produce the horsepower. So the easiest way they can produce this horsepower is using the same engine. More than likely it's going to be the redeye engine, which is really the demon engine, and trying to push more horsepower out of that with using E85. Now, for example, Dodge came out with the Hellcat engine. They ran that engine. They still kind of run that engine in the 717 version of the cars But when it came to the Demon that they came out with 2018, they actually changed the engine up some to push it even further, because they went from 707 to an engine that could run 804 horsepower on pump gas. And then of course you add the race gas, that bumps up to 840. So in order for them to do that, they had to put a bigger supercharger on, a different intake. I had to do some other stuff to the engine as well. So to me, and honestly this can be proven, the Hellcat engine and the Demon engine are two different engines to a certain extent. But you know, after that Demon engine was made, they still kept the Demon engine around, detuned it, and put it in other cars. So now I think the question is, like, if Dodge could take that Hellcat engine, change out the supercharger, and change out some other components and bump it up to 804 horsepower, like a whole 100 horsepower, why can't they do the same thing here? So this is the biggest issue that they're running into now. So in order for them to increase the horsepower reliably, and that's the key, it's going to be reliably, there's a couple of ways they can do it. They can't really change out too many parts. What they're trying to do is get the most horsepower out of this engine in a reliable manner with changing the least amount of things in the engine as possible. And the only way you can really do that is a different power adder, which is going to be the E85. Now, for those of you that run E85, you probably already know the troubles with running E85. You have to go to the station, test the E85, make sure it's good, and before you put it in your car and things like that. Now, here's the issue with that. If Dodge is going to mass produce this car, a lot of people that's going to be buying this car probably never ran E85 before, probably don't really know exactly what they should be doing, and Dodge has to foolproof this car to make sure they don't have all these cars coming back with blown engines because people don't know what they need to be doing with these particular cars. And now, of course, you can run flex fuel sensor in the car, and it looks like that's what Dodge is trying to do to make sure, like, the engine constantly monitors like exactly what the E85 level is in the car, so it doesn't, you know, go boom. And so that's really what Dodge is stuck on right now. How do they get this engine to recognize different, like, octane levels of this E85 or whatnot? I think that may be the right term for it, and not blow itself up. Because like I said, it's bad that, you know, they delayed this car, but it'd be worse they put this car out here and people all blow these engines up. Now, the biggest thing I want to address is this. There are a lot of people out there, and they're probably watching this video, they're going to say, my car runs 1,000 horsepower, my car runs 900 horsepower, I don't have issues with this car, things of that nature. And that is true, but there's a big difference from building a car and getting big horsepower out of it that you may not be daily driving, that you may not be running it hard and things of that nature on a very consistent basis, versus building a mass-produced engine running the same horsepower. And the biggest difference is this: all these engines that you see in all these cars, they all have a certain horsepower that they're pushing from the factory, but they all have room to push even more horsepower. But a lot of times these cars are dialed back for emission reasons and also safety reasons as well, to make sure that, you know, the engine's going to last as long as it can last. Like, for example, you can take any car on the road, go put a tune in it to increase the power on it without changing out any parts, and the car is going to run, it's going to have more power, and your car is going to run faster. But at the same time, you could be cutting into the reliability of the engine and emissions as well. So yes, you are definitely correct that these engines, especially the Demon engine, I'm gonna keep saying the Demon engine because it's the same as the redeye engine, that engine can definitely hold over 1,000 horsepower. But to be honest, the people that have these cars running that much horsepower probably aren't driving these cars extremely hard all day, every day. And Dodge has to test these engines in that sort of situation. Granted, someone may not do it, but someone could do it. And the last thing they need to have happen is someone who runs their car hard all the time and they blow their engine. Someone might want to daily drive this car. Someone might want to go to the drag strip and get a whole bunch of passes down the drag strip. There's a lot of things that people may use this particular car for, and Dodge does not know that. So Dodge has to test for every single situation to make sure that whatever they decide to do with these cars, that it's going to last and not come back through their service centers with, you know, with a hole in the block or whatever, right? This car isn't coming out just yet. I do want to talk about this from a different perspective. How does this make Dodge look in the end, right? I mean, they've already promised some things. I talked about this on another video. They already promised some things going to happen, and it hasn't happened. Direct connect kicks, they're not happening. It seems like, I'm not sure what's going on with that. And now we're at these cars where they said this car is going to come out at SEMA here, and they still are trying to figure this car out. Now, in the business side of things, there's always there's like a saying, like you want to under promise and over deliver. You don't want to make promises or say things that you can't follow up on. And Dodge right now is having that track record where they're promising us stuff and it's not coming to fruition at all. And now this car is in jeopardy. Now, will this car ever come out? Maybe, but maybe not. Maybe this car would never ever come out. We may never see this car drop at all because of the fact that they can't figure out how to get this power out of this engine in a safe manner. This car could be a dud. It could be just a figment of everyone's imagination. So really, at the end of the day, I really hope Dodge can figure this out. I mean, granted, it's probably gonna be a limited model car with this E85 Hellcat that they're trying to push out. And hopefully they can actually follow through and get this car out there. I would love to see this car out there. I love to see Dodge, you know, go crazy and put the most powerful car out on the road and things like that. But I definitely hate the fact that they make several promises to us and can't really follow through with anything. I'm not sure. I thought maybe they thought it was gonna be an easy process or whatnot, but it kind of does make them look bad that they couldn't just completely close this out. But let me know your thoughts, man. How do you feel about it? What other information have you found out about these particular cars? I've heard several things about what they could be doing and whatnot, but at the end of the day, it still falls back to the fact that they thought they could get this figured out by SEMA, and when they made the announcement, they knew they didn't have it figured out and it wasn't close to, and now we're still waiting on what they're gonna do with this particular car. So let me know your thoughts below, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We want you around for the long haul, and as always, thank you for being a part of the channel, watching this video. We'll catch you on the next one. We're out. Got it.